Hi, I'm Mike Meisler here at Rafter M Training Stables. I've had a lot of people texting me, asking me training tips and this and that. I've had some people asking me about shoeing on the gaited trail horse. My farrier's going to be here this week, and I'm going to let him talk and kind of explain some things to you about that. Another big thing that I'm getting questions about is bits. Bits are a very controversial thing. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think, but I'm also going to tell you first thing. If you're a show horse person or a show horse trainer, turn this video off now, because I'm talking to trail riders and I don't really want to hear anything from the show world on what I've got to say here about trail horses. That is the number one problem we're having here. You need to figure out if you want a trail horse or do you want a show horse, because they are two completely different animals, and I don't care what anybody tells you. We're having a lot of people out here that are trying to market trail horses, and the horses have never been out of the barn. What's happening is they've been in the barn getting ready for a show and they ain't going to make it, and now they're just advertising them as a trail horse and they've never been in the woods. So that's why I'm saying, show horse people, leave this alone. This doesn't pertain to you. On our trail horses that we ride, all we ride in is a snaffle bit. It is a simple snaffle. The number one thing you got to do is get your horses soft, supple, and light to the touch. And you got to get a horse to stay between your hands and your legs and stay with you. Everybody gets a charging horse, and the first thing they do is put on a bigger bit. I was riding and working a horse last year on a trail ride, and she was absolutely running through my hands and giving me hell. We had just started on her training, and there was a gentleman there told my wife I could help that boy if he'd just get a bigger, longer shank bit put on that horse. You know what a longer shank bit's going to do? It's going to get her stiff from her chin all the way through her pole, her neck, her ribs, her whole body. That's your problem anyway with a chargy horse. It's called stiffness. They're resisting everything you're doing. I want to be able to barely pick up my reins and a horse sit here and give their head to me. That is something that is missing in the gaited horse world. In the gaited horse world, on the trail gaited horses. Everybody thinks you need a shank bit that damn long in there, and you don't. If you've got to have a shank bit that long, then you need to go back to the breaking pen and get your horse broke. Because all he's doing is sitting on your hands all day long. Get your horses soft. 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 I'd want to get a bullhorn and scream that all the time. You got to get these horses soft. Don't be sitting up there pulling on them horses with two reins. When you pull on them with two reins, you're getting them more stiff. You're getting them more stiff. There's a lot of people that buy our horses and come here, and we're sitting here telling them how to ride them and things. And I had two women in here one time. Both of them said, "You are telling me everything exactly opposite of what I've ever been taught how to ride a gaited horse." Do you want to know why that is? It's because all of the training techniques come from the show horse world. It has for years in the gaited horse industry. You're riding trail horses like you would a show horse. And it is not right. I'm saying it ain't right. I'm telling you it's not right. You got to get your horse soft. You need to sit down in the saddle. Stop pushing your legs out to the front end of them. Sit down and relax and enjoy the ride. Everybody wants to work on gait on these gaited horses. I don't care if it's a walking horse or a foxtrotting horse or what it is. Pick up any brochure you want on any gaited horse, and I can tell you what they're going to tell you. They've got the most natural, smoothest gaited horse ever in the world. Well, if that's the case, why are we working on gait all the time? You go to a clinic, and that's the number one thing they want to talk about is my horse don't gait right. Do you want to know why your horse don't gait right? Is because he's not prepared to gait. He is pushing on you somewhere, either with his mouth, his shoulders, his ribs, something. Your horse is not soft. He's stiff. He doesn't bend. If you will get these gaited horses soft, supple, and light, I don't care what gait they're supposed to do, their gait will come to the top. The main thing you got to do is stop concentrating on bits, stop concentrating on gait, and get your horse broke. Get your horse soft, supple, and light. We're going to come out with some training tips on this, but I'm wanting to go ahead and break the ice here because I know this thing's going to blow sky high when we put it up over what I just said here. But if you come here to Thayer, Missouri and ride our horses, I'll promise you, you're only going to ride them in a snaffle bit. You're not going to have a 6-inch shank hanging out of his mouth. What happens if you go down the trail and a bunch of hogs jump up in front of you and your horse spooks? With that 6-inch shank, how are you going to pull his head around and get him shut out? If you go to pull him back with both hands, where's he going to go? I'll tell you, up. It's the only place he can go. You've got to get these horses soft where when you pull that head around, they shut down. So that's just a clue of what's coming. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about it because I've had everybody tell me everything in the world. And finally, I just got aggravated and said, you know what? I'm going to do what I know how to do. And I'm going to do it on foxtrotting horses. I'm going to do it on walking. I'm going to do it on any gaited horse. And so far, it's been very successful on what we do. So anyway, that's what I got to say. Stay tuned because we're going to come out with a lot more stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or Joy. We'll be more than happy to talk to you.